Live on also Instagram. We're live on YouTube. I see things are rolling along. I hope you're having a wonderful Tuesday. We are good. We are going. I hope everyone's good. Sorry we missed last week. What's up, Fernando? Thanks for joining. What's up, Second Line Arts? How are you? Thanks for joining last week. We missed our live stream. I apologize. What's up, Music Man? Last week I was in New York recording a big band record on Tuesday. So we got 7 or 8 tunes recorded for a future release. So I'm excited about that. And I see Alton is here. Alton played on that session. Thanks again for playing, Alton. And I'm excited today because today we're going to announce the first of the guest artists for the Jazz Trombone Boot Camp 2022. There's a lot more exciting news coming out about that boot camp. But before we get to that, I just do have to say that this book came out at the beginning of April. I'll stop talking about it once April is over. But it took a lot of work, and I was fortunate enough to get a lot of help getting this new music business book out. Create, Connect, Repeat, Building an Artistic Business in the 21st Century. As you know, maybe you know, maybe you don't know, but since 2015, I've been running this record label called Outside of Music and giving advice to artists about various parts of building their career. And this kind of book is what kind of came out of the last 7 years of doing that. And so I'm excited about that being out. You can find that on Amazon or wherever you like to buy books. You can get it from me. But yeah, so let's move away from the book. There's a bunch of if you're new, you can go back on YouTube and you can find a bunch of Create, Connect, Repeat themed Ask Nick shows, kind of talking about the different concepts that are in there. What's up, Chuck? What's up, Tom? What's up, Demetrius? Some various questions that haven't related to marketing and music and all that kind of stuff. So I'll put that to the side for today, and we don't need to go there. Oh, you can see my dice. This is my trick. I'll give you the trick for. It's next week is jury week at UNT, and prior to jury week, I have some of the students. There's some things that they need to play in 12 keys. So instead of getting blamed for picking the hard keys, I bought these 12-sided dice. I know like Shires and Joe Alessi have this big ball thing now, but I just use these dice and I have them roll the dice so that I don't get blamed if they get all hard keys or all easy keys. We leave it up to chance or whatever. Or maybe some guys practice rolling the dice beforehand. I don't know. I'll put them over here off the screen. Yep, roll the dice, baby. That way I don't get blamed. If Donna Lee in A, I didn't pick it. You rolled it, man. So anyway, this is a Q&A after all. Feel free to drop in your questions. I see some people putting some stuff in over on Instagram here. But feel free to drop it in on Instagram if you've got a question. Shed your dice. That's right. Chance is a great way to train. Yeah, you're right. You never know what you're going to get, so you might as well just let somebody else decide, right? Thanks for that, Kevin. Well, thanks for joining today. And like I said, I'm going to announce the first guest of our I guess it's actually going to be more than 4 guests, but it's an undetermined amount of guests that is at least 3 and is not 10 for the Jazz Trombone Boot Camp. 3 guests for the boot camp. So if you don't know what the boot camp is, it's coming up in June, and it's a virtual event, June 13 through 17. It's 5 days, and we get together 11 a.m. Eastern, 10 a.m. Central. It's a little early on the East Coast, or the West Coast, sorry. 8 a.m. West Coast. But we've had people from England on before and South Africa. And we're trying to get people from all over, so we try to find some kind of neutral time, but it's always going to be bad for somebody. But we get together, we talk. We do a warm-up every day. We talk about jazz transcriptions. We talk about jazz language, like the technical aspects of playing jazz trombone, how they might be similar or different to shedding like your classical stuff. We talk about that every day. And I've got 2 of my students, soon to be former students. They're about to graduate, but Jack Courtwright, who's going to be helping me out, and DJ Rice, they'll be there. They'll be teaching some sessions, and we're going to have obviously our guest artists. We're going to have two great sponsors that are going to come on board. I'll talk about that in a couple of weeks. We have a lot of really exciting things, and so I really hope that people will jump in and get registered. As I've mentioned before, there's a pre-announcement price and a post-announcement price. So whenever I'll remember to change it at some point today, it's Tuesday, April 26th. So if it's after that, the price is going to go up to the post-announcement price if you want to jump in. But we can't take more than about 10 people to make sure that it's a really focused experience. So make sure you sign up. And so there's two different levels to sign up at. I know I'm drawing this out, trying to make you wait for the announcement. There's two levels to sign up. You can sign up at the masterclass participant level if you want to get feedback from our guest artists, and it's first come, first serve. So if you sign up first, you're going to get to pick first which guest artists that you play for and get feedback from, and then it goes from there. And if you don't want to do that and you just want to participate, you can also do that. And so the link, just go to nickfinzer.store. You can find the links there. And all of that. What's up, Taylor? This is not a new shirt. I've had it for a little while, but I haven't worn it in a while. It's a nice sunny day today, so it seemed like the green palm trees could be back to being relevant again. What's up, Ricky? Ricky came to the boot camp before. How you doing, man? So we are going to do that. So like I said, this is a Q&A, so feel free to drop in your questions and kind of, go in multiple directions. But I'm excited because I'm going to invite some people to be a part of the boot camp that number one, they've never been part of the boot camp before, but number two, they're some of the most influential people in my life. Well, one in particular that I'm not going to announce today. But, all right, so it's June 13th through 17th. You can go to nickfinzer.store to check it out if you want. And should I give myself my own drum roll? I'm going to announce the guests this week and probably the next couple of weeks to make people, guess, right? All right, so I'm going to see about if we can do this. So we got the drum roll going. It's a long drum roll. So put into the comments or put into the chat who you think it is. I'm going to give hints until somebody guesses. All right, so this person plays the trombone. This person is based in Los Angeles. This person is a Yamaha artist. Ooh, good guess. Alton guessed Steve Teray. Steve Teray, but he's not based in Los Angeles. That's a good guess, though. It's a Yamaha artist. This person has a very famous recording of Emily. There we go. Andy Martin. We're very excited. I'm going to have, as one of our guests for the Jazz Trombone boot camp, we're going to have Andy Martin. There we go. Several people are guessing here. Now we know it. So Andy Martin's going to be part of our lineup for the Jazz Trombone boot camp 2022. Yeah, that's what year it is. So I'm excited to have Andy be able to come in, and we've mostly had East Coast representation on the camp. Says no site can be reached. nickfinzer.store or go nickfinzer.store. I can't put the link on Instagram while I'm streaming live, but I'll put it in my story after this is done. nickfinzer.store should take you to where you need to go to get registered for the camp. Sometimes, you know what, though? He says this can't be reached. Sometimes, if you have certain internet providers block this, it's a Shopify store, and certain internet providers, like when I'm at in certain places connected to the internet, certain places, it doesn't allow me to load it up for some reason. But if that's the case, send me a DM and I'll send you the link. Evo. What's up, Lucas Pino? But so I'm excited. We'll have Andy Martin one day, and we have several other guests coming on. But we'll be digging into, like I said, we'll be digging into trombone. They'll be giving a master class. If you sign up at the master class participant level, you can get to play for him, and he will give you some feedback. Obviously, you get feedback from me throughout the week, so you'll be sick of hearing from me by the end of it, I'm sure. But I see we got some questions here, so for now, I'm going to move away from the announcement. Oh, what's going on here? These questions are different colors. We'll go to some Q&A, so drop in some your questions as you have them, and then we'll revisit a little bit of the Jazz Trombone Day stuff at the end. For some reason, this is not... What's going on here? Okay, here's one. As a student, there's a great picture, by the way. Steve Trey has come up twice already in this live stream. So there was a great picture that Wycliffe Gordon posted on his not his Instagram, his Facebook yesterday or from the weekend of him and Steve Trey. Oh, there's also a great meme that came up today. I don't know if I can show it. I can show it on here. There's a pretty great Steve Trey meme with Johnny Depp that's been going around today. That's pretty good. Pretty good. All right, sorry. As a student at Juilliard, what was one anecdote you got from Steve Trey that took you a while to use or apply until you finally got it? Ooh, that's a good... Was there an anecdote that I could not apply? I guess so. I don't know if it's an anecdote necessarily, but if Lucas is still here, he remembers this. He used to say things sounded like a computer. Music sounded like a computer. And so what he meant was like, it sounded like way over composed maybe, or like it sounded like only a computer could execute it. And for a long time, I didn't like have a nuanced understanding of what he meant, you know, but now as a professor, I can definitely tell when a student has written a piece of music on their instrument or on a piano or at the drums or on a guitar versus writing it in the computer, like straight into the finale or a muse score or something, because there's like a disconnect from the like natural way of phrasing that happens, I think, when you write at the computer. That doesn't always translate super well to actual playing. And so a lot of times that has to do with like the amount of notes you're playing, where you breathe, you know. So something I do to combat that is to just like, okay, when you're writing, even if you have to write right into the computer, just make sure that you're singing the phrasing and singing the phrases so you know how it feels, so it's not just like random notes align, you know, forever and ever and ever and ever and ever and ever, right? So you want to make sure that you're letting it feel natural. So that's how, so I sing it, you know. And then but yeah, he used to say that a lot about different music and be like, it's all this, none of this, you know. He used to say that a lot too, and I feel it now. I didn't understand at the time. It's not really an anecdote, I guess, but it was very helpful, informative. It makes me think, make sure my music has some of this, you know. By this, I mean heart, you know, feeling, soul, whatever you want, whatever words you want to use to describe it. But it can't be all mechanical, right? It's got to be, at least in my opinion, it's got to be some combination of technical and musical and soulful all at the same time. That's what I aspire to anyway. Man, these questions, it's like all blacked out. All right. What trombone player have you been revisiting lately? I don't know. I haven't been revisiting. I guess I was revisiting J.J. Johnson. We recorded Say When last week, and so I've been listening a lot to that J.J. Johnson big band record. He's just so, I don't know, it's like a very cliche answer, but like he's so clear and he's just so precise and he's so, he's just a master. There's a reason, you know, why everyone goes to him over and over and over again. Let's see. In your recent practice, what is one thing you're working on that has been taking a while to fully master? Okay, sure. I'll tell you about something. Something I've been working on that I have not mastered. And I still haven't mastered. I've been working on this since college, right? Well, there's a few things. I'll show you. So when I was in my last year of studying at Eastman, I was in a combo class with Harold Danko. So Harold Danko is a pianist, and he used to run the program at Eastman. He's retired now, but So we were working on train tunes, and so something that people play a lot on train tunes is like they play 1, 2, 3, 5, like digital patterns, right? Right, I'm just playing the first couple chords of Giant Steps right now. So people would play 1, 2, 3, 5 a lot, right? So he postulated, like, why does it always have to be 1, 2, 3, 5? Couldn't it be something else? So we started exploring 1, 2, 4, 5. So that would be like 1, 2, 4, 5 would be. Now it's kind of problematic because sometimes you end up on playing the fourth on a major chord, the fourth scale degree. I mean, so I'm playing this shape. I play. So I've been trying to substitute that in. So what you do is you just start on the fifth instead on that chord, right? So instead of playing 1, 2, 4, 5, you get 5, 6, 1, 2. Like once you get to the E flat. So I've been thinking about that for a long time. 1, 2, 4, 5 as like a digital pattern, starting on different scale degrees, and being able to play it up and down the horn. So then you end up with things like. Now Steve Teray would play. But then I'm adding one extra note to it. So. It's just a subtle difference, right? But the magic of this little shape is that then you can make the second note flat instead. So then you go like. And then you start to think about where does that fit on different chords, because between those two shapes you can get through a lot, use them on top of a lot of chords, right? So that half step could be the major 7, the half step could be a flat 9, it could be a lot of different things. So, and I started thinking about it that way, and so I started to think about like what other, like, so basically it's two groups of whole steps, right? We've got, and then, or a half step and a whole step, right? It's a half step and a whole step, or a whole step and a whole step. I know I'm saying things, I'm going really fast, and I don't usually dig into these things on there. So hopefully, let me know if this is the kind of stuff you'd rather see than just me talking. But so I took that idea and I said, what if I applied it to other things? What's up, Andrew? Thanks for joining us. I am, so then I started thinking about triad pairs, right? So people play stuff like this. Triad pairs. That's a Michael Davis exercise. He plays that in his book. Literally exactly like that. So that's like a whole step triad pair. So I said, what if I did other kind of pairs, right? Because I thought, that open shape, right? And then I've got pairs, and then I said, what about tritone pairs? So then I started to dig into this. So tritone pairs, so they're a whole step apart, right? So you get this. So if you think about it, so what I was just playing a tritone pair from A flat and B flat, so a whole step apart. So the other notes end up being D and E. So you get. So what it spells, it ends up spelling out like a B flat 7, flat 9. Sorry, flat 5, not flat 9. B flat 7. It's kind of like a whole tone sound. So, getting back to the question, long ways around, I've been thinking about that concept, and I've been thinking about those three shapes for 10 years or so. Like, when did I graduate college? 2009. And what year is it? 12 years. Anyway, so I'm still working on that. It's hard, man, especially those tritones. Anyway, that was a long answer to your question. But what's up, Midnight Assassin? What's happening? Thanks for joining us today. Like I said, if you were tuning in for the announcement of our first guest artist for the Jazz Trombone Boot Camp, it's Andy Martin. Without much more ado than that, we'll have Andy Martin. I'm excited to have him as our first guest. So nickfinzer.store. So if it's not working when you're trying to do it, you try to use a different internet connection, because for some reason the Shopify store doesn't connect on certain internet. Like when I'm at home, it's fine. When I'm in different places, it's fine. If I try to access it when I'm at school, it doesn't work. The firewall blocks the store for whatever reason. So check that out. This is cool. Can you make your horn MIDI and show us the notes in real time? That I haven't. There's a microphone. There's a microphone that's supposed to do that. And I found out about it during the pandemic, and I remember seeing it. And I was going to buy it, but I didn't have any extra money, as most of us didn't. Even though theoretically we're supposed to have extra money. But anyway, that's supposed to be able to take a voice or an instrument and map it onto MIDI in real time. So I think that technology might actually exist out there. But first final done. Good job, Midnight Assassin. Nice. One more tomorrow. You're almost there, man. I know it's the most stressful time of the semester, this end of the semester time. Man, Instagram is just all over the place right now. So feel free to drop in any questions. YouTube, feel free. I see some people over on YouTube. In writing your latest book, were there any pieces of material you wish you could have included that didn't get published? No, I included everything I wanted to. At this point, I'm sure there's other stuff that'll come up though. So the main thing that I've found in publishing this book was that I was hesitant to include a lot of things that might become outdated super fast. So like tactics on YouTube, tactics on Instagram, tactics on TikTok, hand-to-hand combat tactics, like they are really, we have a sign up. Amazing. Can't wait to have you at boot camp. I'll see who it is later, but thank you, if you signed up for boot camp. It's going to be a great week. So thank you for that. But things I wasn't able to include in the book. Tactics. Maybe I should have made an addendum with a website. But stuff changes so often. Like, like at one point going live was the thing on Instagram. And then the next time it switched and it was like, okay, now it's reels. Okay, now it's stories. Okay, now it's posts. So how you should use this many hashtags or that many hashtags. So I didn't include any of that stuff because I wanted to keep it relevant. So maybe I should have put an addendum there. But that is, what it is. Let's see. T-Bone, what's happening? Andy Martin. Yeah, Andy Martin's awesome. And more to come. Next week I'll announce somebody else, the next. So we'll just do one per week. That's what I'll do, I think, for the next couple of weeks. Keep you in suspense. But like I said, if you want to participate in the masterclass, if you want to play in a masterclass, we only have so much time, so I can't just make an infinite amount of spaces for people to play for our guest artists. But it's first come, first serve. So the first people to sign up will get to play for the guest artists. So just so you know. All right, here's another. We'll go back to questions here. What was one epiphany you had during your undergrad at Eastman? How did it change your viewpoint? Evo, you're the man. Thank you. Oh, DJ wants to know if I dropped the boot camp. Yeah, Andy Martin's the first one. The rest of them I didn't. Dandrick. Oh man, thank you. Well, I have the 88H and I have the 3B is just 3B plus is over here. I still play the 3B plus most of the time. I've been thinking about, this is top secret. you got to tell Con Summer there. They need to help me find something that's like some kind of combination of the two. Because I think that's the direction I need to move in. Because I do like playing the 88H. This particular one is broken. It's like the valve is broken. I can't press the valve, this one. But I dig the sound. But it maybe like a little too diffuse, maybe is the word. Or like a little too, what's up, Vince Gardner? What's happening, man? It may be a little too diffuse, but I'm trying to get them. They're really hard to get to do like too many things. They're a big company, so it's hard to get things moving, you know. But like if I could put together something in between the 3B Plus and the 88H, that would be killing, I think, for me. I don't know. What's happening? Are you in? Yeah. So at some point, someday, maybe they'll get something together, and so I can get like, I mean, this is what Steve Teray plays on. It's like a Yamaha that's 525, 547, right? And I always like, oh, it's too big. But now I'm like, it's kind of the sound. So, so I'll probably try to see if they'll do something like that, or I don't know. I always thought I wasn't going to keep on changing horns, but I guess your concept just keeps evolving, right? And so you're hearing something else, and you got to play something else, you know. But okay. I've been using a Dennis Wick 12 CS mouthpiece. That's cool. Use what feels comfortable, man. I'm not so big into like, you have to play this or this. Play what works for you. Play what works and gets the sound. You know, that's what I go for. What's the sound you're looking for, you know? I didn't answer this question. Epiphany from my time at Eastman. What was it? I don't know if I had any while I was there. No, I did. Okay, let me tell you this. When I started jazz school, I didn't know anything about anything. Oh yeah? Oh man, we'll have to talk about that, that horn. Are you gonna, because you play like a custom horn, right, from Josh Landris, right? Yeah, we'll have to talk about that. Oh, somebody's calling me. Can't talk to you right now. Busy. Okay, so when I started at Eastman, my path came through studying with Wycliffe Gordon, right? So when I was in high school, like he used to come to Rochester, and I got to hang with him a little bit, and he was super gracious enough to let me hang out with him, basically, and show me some things. But like that was like a very intuitive way of playing, you know. It wasn't like learn this, and this. It was like his whole thing is like sing it, you know, sing it first. That's his book, right? Wycliffe's book, sing it first. And so that's what we would work on. And like I didn't know that there was like a thing like a flat 9, or I didn't know that a thing like sharp 9. Like I didn't understand what any of that was. And so then I like learned like here's the altered scale, and I'm like, okay, you put this on a dominant chord, and like then I just had that one thing, you know. And so like my first year ear training class, what blew my mind was that people could hear the difference in those different qualities of chords. That blew my mind. I had no idea you could do that. I didn't even know there was different ones. You know, I don't know. That sounds like super crazy, but like the biggest epiphany was like, oh, there's things to hear and learn to hear, and like this is what a dominant chord is, and this is what a flat 9 sounds like, and this is a sharp 9, and this is a sharp 5, and this is a 13. So that might sound very simple, but that was like a huge thing for me. Like I didn't even know. Uh-oh. Is there a problem with the audio? Did it disappear? It drops out sometimes. Ah, irritating. Somebody let me know if it's not working on Instagram. But a Con 8H. So there's a question about, is the Con 8H good for leading trombone on big band? You know, sometimes I feel like Cons don't cut quite enough. They're a little warm and buttery, but they don't have like the cutting kind of thing that you sometimes need. You know, the King 2Bs or 3Bs generally have a little bit more of that zip on the front of the sound to help with that. But just something to think about. I don't know if I would play an 8H to play lead, but All right, here's a question. Taylor's tons of questions again. Oh wait, I'm gonna get this one from YouTube first. From T-Bone. When playing outside the changes, when playing outside the changes, do you find that staying in the upper range works better than the middle and lower registers because of our axis lower? It can be. I think you can play more dissonant notes in the lower register with effectiveness if you're careful. It can be a little bit muddy sounding sometimes if you're not careful with how you use them, but it can be done. It's more clear to hear it a little bit in the upper register, but sometimes I think low register feels more impactful sometimes with a dissonant note, than relying on the upper register all the time. And because I'm a person, I want to use like the whole range, of the horn. So, yeah, check it out. Check out that whole range of that instrument. All right, let's see. As an educator, how would you say your teaching style has evolved, and what have you been trying to refine recently? Oh, really? No sound? Let me type in the chat here. Sorry for no sound. We'll restart. Technical glitch over here. I'll go back to that question in a second. But let's restart the stream over here. See if it'll go again. We're back on there. But so he was asking about, someone over here on YouTube was asking about Bach trombones. I don't play Bach trombones. I don't find them particularly appealing, but that's not to say other people don't. Bill Watchus played Bach for a long time. So it's definitely cool, It's definitely, they can be cool. You got to play them yourself. They have a different crook. So like the bottom of the slide is more square. It's a little more focused or something like that. Hello, people are joining back again. Sorry about that. Glad you could join us back here. For some reason, when I do this on my phone, the audio cuts out after some amount of time. I don't know if it's my phone or what, but anyway. So we were talking about Bach trombones. I just don't play Bach trombones. What's up, Mr. Mandalorian? If you missed the announcement, if you're just joining us and you weren't on the first part of the stream, we announced the first guest for the Jazz Trombone Boot Camp, and that was Andy Martin is going to be joining us during Jazz Trombone Boot Camp, June 13 through 17. Hope you'll join us. And then the other question that I was getting back to was, what's up, Connor? How's that plunger coming, man? So Connor was on the stream a couple months ago, I guess now, and then hit me up, and we got up for a lesson, and we talked to all things Pixie Mute and plunger, and open horn plunger, Al Gray plunger. Teaching style. How am I refining my teaching style? That was another question. Thank you. I see people joining back. Thanks for rejoining. Sorry for the problems there. Technical problems. What's up, Ariel? How have I refined my teaching style? Well, I'm always thinking about it, and I feel like there's always a push and pull between communication and expectation, and I'm trying to, find a way to continue to be more clear, and to try to incorporate as much ownership from the student side as possible in what they're working on. That's important. I don't like to just be like, do this, do this, do this, do this, do this. And then I have a tendency to assume people know things because they say, yes, I know this thing, right? And so I give people the benefit of the doubt that they're telling me the truth. And when the case most of the time is that they actually don't know and they just don't want to look stupid. So I'm trying to encourage people to be more honest, to be more open, create more of a safe space to make mistakes. You got to sound bad. If you're in this office studying with me or online and you are sounding bad, then you're doing it right. If you're sounding good all the time, then you aren't practicing anything. You're just playing stuff you're already good at, right? So, I mean, that's just something I think about. But that's how I'm trying to refine my teaching. Always trying to be more clear. I sometimes give too much information in a short amount of time. So I'm trying to be a little bit more effective in that way. But then, yeah, like Taylor asked the question, and he's in my improv class. And that improv class is basically, you know, it's a bebop focused class, and I mean, it's kind of like those Barry Harris sessions that you can see on YouTube. It's like, okay, play this, now play this, now play this, now play this. And so I try to do things that I know will be miserable for people to do on their own, and do that in a group setting, and create kind of like a group cohesion through doing things that are hard together, right? So like, it's really hard to sit in your room by yourself and take things through 12 keys until you're already good at it. Like, it can be really hard. So I try to sit there and like help get through that, like do it together. And for some people it happens really fast, and other people it's really slow. And so in the class I always talk about like, hey, this is going to be, some parts of this class are going to be easy, some parts are going to be hard. Be patient. When it's easy for you, it's going to be hard for somebody else, and then when it's something, and then vice versa, you know, it's not going to be the same for all people. So anyway, those are a couple things about my teaching that I'm trying to refine. Thanks for the question. O'Connor, coming along, trying to check Jeffrey Miller and Emmett's Place. Also, question: when taking a big band as an MD, what do you typically listen out for? That's a good question. If I'm the MD of a big band, I mean, it really has to do with the musical concept of the band. Like, what is the band going to be? But I mean, I can tell you what I value, I suppose, in putting a band together. You know, I think obviously sound. You got to have a great sound, and a great sound, like, how does your sound fit into the role of the band? Like, I personally would rather someone with a big sound play third trombone, even if they're the best, quote unquote, best reader, best whatever, best soloist. I would rather they play second or third than lead, because they don't have the right sound concept. Not that they couldn't, because they certainly could, but that I try to match people up with where their sound is going to fit in the band, you know, and like where things are written, where solos are written and stuff like that. And but what do I look out for when putting the band together is like strong concept of their chair, their role, and then being a great reader. I don't want to rehearse, you know. We didn't rehearse for this big band record. Just show up and play it, man. That's like, just like, I guess, kind of a New York mentality. Just like, I don't want to rehearse. Show up, play, just do it right the first time. Like, that's kind of my attitude. Like, obviously, like, if it's like, I want the chart to be wrong. The player played it right, but the chart is wrong, or the chart needs to be adjusted. You know, that's kind of how I feel. So I always err on the side of that. So you got to be able to do that. You got to be and then you got to be just like a responsible human being, you know, because if you don't show up, what can I do? I can't do anything with that if you don't show up. So those are a couple of things. Aha. There's a comment about Bach trombones. Found a 36 New York Bach 6, and I can't stop playing it. Yeah, those old New York Bachs, people love those, man. People love them. I've never played, I don't think I've ever played a really old New York Bach, but I've heard great things. This is an old Con 88H, so maybe someday. You know what, as soon as I get off the stream, I'm going to email my guy at Con Summer and ask him what we can do about this slide situation, about this hybrid. That's what I mean, a 525, 547 hybrid. And we'll see what he says. He'll probably just say, I'm gonna check it out. You're gonna try a Con 88H? It's cool, man. It's a nice horn. It's not. I wouldn't say it's like the perfect horn for all situations. You know, sometimes when you're playing an orchestra, you really want to be, you know, more on a Bach kind of thing, or Shires or Edwards, something like that. Old Con 8H, yeah. I think that's when the audio cut out on you. I was saying, like, I don't know if it's the right sound to play lead. It's a little like warm and buttery, which is a nice sound for blowing or for just playing. So, I don't know. You have to balance like what it's for. Yeah, you're welcome, Taylor. What it's for. All right. I'm going to wrap up for today. Thanks for being here. Andy Martin is our first guest. I hope you'll join us for Jazz Trombone Bootcamp June 13th through June 17th. We'll be talking all things jazz trombone. So if you play trombone and in the jazz world, you want to be there to work, dive deep into that for a week and have things to practice. If you ask any of the people, we give like 100+ page packet every year. And you won't be able to practice it all in one summer. It's a lot of stuff. We dig into a lot of things. You get a lot of great insight from a master class every single day with a guest. But that's where we're headed. nickfinzer.store. You can jump over there and grab your registration. There's only around 10 people, so please jump in and register as soon as you can. And we'll catch you soon. So thanks for being here, and we'll be back next week, same time,